Alright, so right before we posted this video, we had this news come out, so I figured I would put it at the beginning of what we're going to talk about. Here's the Eagles practice squad as of right now, who they have. Pound Eagles practice squad: linebacker Chance Campbell, wide receiver Elijah Cooks, glad he's back, guard Kenyon Green, tight end E.J. Jenkins, cornerback Brandon Johnson, outside linebacker Patrick Johnson, tight end Cameron Latu, wide receiver Terrence Marshall. I knew he would come back. Kyle McCord, the quarterback, comes back. Parry Nickerson, he comes back. Hollins Pierce. APR is back, which is very, very good. Eli Ricks, and then safety Andre Sam, as we talk about in this video. But that's your practice squad, guys, as of now. The Eagles have taken the practice field. And another update is Landon Dickerson is out there doing drills. He's out there with the team. That's a very, very good sign for week 1. Now, let's get to this video. You take our linemen, we take your linemen. The difference is we got Stoutland. Dallas still stinks. You might do it, kick Dingbat here and breaking news, breaking butter humping news. Can you say Howie's revenge? That's right, Howie's revenge, because he just got revenge on the Rams. Not only did we sweep them last year, not only did we knock them out of the playoffs, but we just got revenge on them for taking Dylan McMahon off our practice squad last year. And the Eagles, they might have come up with another gem. Willie Lampkin, the offensive lineman, center guard for the Rams, undrafted free agent, is now coming to the Eagles. And everything we're hearing about this kid, he is very much like Darius Cooper of the offensive line. Maybe not as big as people like a prototypical offensive lineman. However, he has all the traits to be really, really good. He just needs time to develop and somebody to develop him. And who's better than Stoutland? So the Eagles making some big moves here. This is a sneaky good move, and we're going to get into it, but we do have some things we've got to talk about. Kyle McCord, he returns to the Eagles and their practice squad. We knew that was going to happen. Also, safety Andre Sam returns to the Eagles practice squad. I liked Sam. I think he's good as a practice squad type guy, a backup guy. The Eagles re-signed long snapper Charlie Hewlett. People were telling me that he was going to just be a practice squad guy and not on the 53-man roster. He is re-signed to their 53-man roster. And then Trevor Keegan has been let go, and he is primarily let go to bring in the offensive lineman Willie Lampkin, okay? So these are the moves that have been made so far. Oh, we got one more that just broke that I got to talk about. Anais Smith has decided, I guess, to sign with the Carolina Panthers. So he is going to be a Panther now on their practice squad. He'll be on a practice squad of a stinky team that will never win when he was on the practice squad of the Super Bowl champs. I don't know if the Eagles had any interest in bringing him back to the practice squad. I was hoping they would, but he is gone. He's going to go to Carolina. The Eagles, they'll be fine. That 82 number now is available, and we've got to get Darius Cooper a better number than 41. Okay, that's for sure. Those are the moves that have been made to this point. There will be other moves that we'll be talking about later in a later video as the Eagles fill up their practice squad. I thought it was important to come on here and talk about the move that they did make, because I think this is a really sneaky move, good move. And I love the fact that they're getting revenge on the Rams. Now, a lot of people from what I was reading on the Rams were surprised yesterday when the Rams cut Willie Lampkin. They put him through waivers. He was injured in preseason. I don't think the Rams thought anybody would claim him because he was injured. Most of the time, injured guys do not get claimed, okay? So they thought they were going to get him through waivers instead of protecting him by putting him on IR. A lot of people, Rams people that I seen writing stuff, were surprised that they did that and thought it was a bad idea. They should put him on the IR. Of course, the Eagles claimed him, and he's 5'11", 290 pounds. Now, he's not very big. He was an undrafted free agent. However, the talent is there, okay? Field Yates wrote this: the Eagles claimed offensive lineman Willie Lampkin off of waivers from the Rams. Lampkin had been designated as waived/injury by the Rams. You don't see waived injured players claimed often. A testament to what Philly saw from him this preseason to claim while he recovers from whatever injury he is dealing with. Brandon Lee Gaunt wrote this: the Eagles claimed an intriguing Willie Lampkin off of waivers from the Rams. When it comes to 3 phases of a run block, positioning, sustain, and finish, Lampkin has the best tape I've studied of any prospect in the 2025 draft. LAFB Network said this about Willie Lampkin: Willie Lampkin has been rated the highest graded rookie offensive lineman in the NFL preseason to PFF, 88.1. Does he make the 53-man roster after the performance? Of course, he went on to not. The Rams really thought that they were going to be able to sneak him through. I think that was the thing. They thought they were going to sneak him through, and they didn't, okay? Jeff McClain wrote, the Eagles claimed ex-Rams center guard Willie Lampkin off waivers. They'll have to make a corresponding move to make room on the 53-man roster. Lampkin, an undrafted rookie, was waived with an injury designation. It just doesn't happen, okay? By all accounts, from everything we're hearing about this kid, he's 23 years old, like I said, 5'11", 290 pounds. He was undrafted primarily because of size, okay? A lot of times these guys get overlooked. I think the same thing with Darius Cooper. But he could play. And Stoutland looked, and he saw the talent that this kid has, and he knows that he can make him into something. Would not be surprised if this kid turns out to be a really, really good player, especially after Stoutland gets done with him. This is a sneaky good move, and it's a great revenge move by the Eagles. I got to tell you, I love the fact that they gave it right back to the Rams, okay? Sorry, too bad. You take our guy, we take your guy, mother humpers, okay? So Lampkin is going to be on the Eagles roster now, and we're going to see what Stoutland could do. Now, is he going to be a backup center? Are they going to train him as a guard? This is something we'll find out. But I definitely trust Stoutland. And everything we're hearing about this kid, this was a sneaky good signing, a good claim by the Eagles. Now, the roster, the practice squad has to finish signing. They're going to have to do some things here in terms of guys that they get back. I'm also curious to see some of the number changes. Will Jacorian Bennett change his number? Will Darius Cooper change his number? You know what I mean? It's going to be very, very interesting. But I really like what the Eagles did. And here you go. We talked about a corresponding move having to take place. Well, it looks like it just happened. Adam Schefter's reporting this a minute ago. To make room for center Willie Lampkin, the Eagles now have waived safety Tristan McCollum. So McCollum is gone. That is really interesting. So McCollum goes, he was thought of as what? The third best safety for the Eagles, which is really interesting. So that really leaves you with what? 3 safeties for the Birds. One of them is injured, and one of them has been injured in the past. Could the Eagles be looking at another safety somewhere down the line here? Could that be something happen? They did return Andre Sam to the practice squad, so they could always bring him up. But Tristan McCollum going is very, very interesting. A lot of interesting things are happening right now with the Eagles, and it's going to continue as the day goes by, and I'll definitely be bringing you that if I can, no doubt about it. I'm supposed to go on Cilio's show a little bit later. I'm also going on Game Time Brian's today for a roundtable, so look for that. It should be a lot of fun. And then I guess we'll talk about this for a second. I don't know what to make of it. I don't think the rumors are like real. I don't know, but I've never seen the Green Bay Packer fans flip out the way they were flipping out last night with the thought and the talk about Micah Parsons possibly becoming a Green Bay Packer. If the Packers, okay, because there's a rumor right now that the Packers basically have talked to his agent, they have a contract worked out, they need the approval by Parsons, and the deal is done with the Cowboys. The contract, if Parsons accepts it, would be done, and he's getting traded. Don't know how true this is. I don't know. All I can say is this. It probably isn't as close as they're saying, but where there's smoke, there's fire. There's too much smoke coming out there right now about Parsons headed to Green Bay to think that none of these things are being talked about or whatever. I see Mark Holmes, he flipped out last night. He thinks, the Packers are illegally tampering. Of course the Packers, if they've talked to the agent of Micah Parsons, of course they've got permission from the Cowboys. It's just not being publicly revealed, okay? But I'd say from an Eagles perspective, I don't want Parsons going to Green Bay. I think this wouldn't help the Eagles. Okay, you send Parsons to Green Bay, I think Green Bay becomes a way better team, okay? He's a lot more effective and a lot more of a threat to the Eagles on the Packers than he is on the Cowboys, okay? So if he goes to the Packers, that would be bad in that I think it would make the Packers better. And it would make the Cowboys probably get a lot of picks, and they could rebuild quicker if they draft well. So it could be a bad situation. I don't want Parsons in Green Bay. I'd rather Parsons sign with Dallas, stay with Dallas, and then have 3-4 more years of purgatory, which Dallas is in, and then they can start rebuilding then, which will take another 3-4 years. So Dallas essentially is 7-8 years away from being a real competitor to go to the Super Bowl. But it's something to keep an eye on. I have no idea because I'm not a Packer fan or Cowboy fan. I don't know how much of this is serious. I just know there's a lot of smoke out there. There's got to be some fire on some level. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So one more thing about Willie Lampkin I forgot to talk about in this video. Apparently, he's a former wrestler. He was like 47-0 in high school or something like that. So he was a very, very good wrestler. Now he's going to become a great offensive lineman because he's going to develop. I know it, man. I know we got some gems in him, in Darius Cooper. You watch in a few years, these guys are going to be something. And everybody's going to be going, how the hell did Howie do it? Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.